We'd still be packing drum brakes and friction shifting if it wasn't for the countless innovations in mountain bike tech since Old Man Breeze first clattered his way down a fire road in Marin County way back in '76. However, among many hits there are of course a handful of really big misses. Here's 5 bits of flopped MTB tech that you'd probably rather forget. Think Shimano invented synchro shift? Think again. Long before 1x drivetrains and Di2, tiny French outfit EGS produced the X-Pro, a fully mechanical unit that shifted a 3x7 group set in a pre-programmed order. In a rather bold step, EGS went as far as producing its own rear derailleur and brake levers to complement the X-Pro, a brave move in a market dominated by 2 key players. Despite shipping a claimed 200,000 units, EGS hit financial problems around 1999 and the brand folded shortly after, with Shimano snapping up its patents for a bargain basement price. Curiously, EGS maintained its website till at least 2016, eerily promoting its 1999 range from beyond the digital grave. If electronic shifting isn't your bag, there's always air. Introduced in the late 90s, Airlines was Shimano's short-lived downhill-specific 1x group set, powered by pressurized air. According to the user manual, Shimano chose to develop the system because the compressed air lines used in the system could flex easily on the long-travel suspension bikes of the time. Each 300cc tank that powered the system was said to be good for up to 400 shifts, with everything controlled by an adjustable regulator. Think a Di2 junction box, but with air. According to press at the time, the group set came in at $1,600, which is roughly $2,300 in today's prices. They were a very expensive speculative investment and likely sat in the basements of bike shops around the world for the last 20 years. Given this high price, it's no wonder that new old stock Airlines group sets pop up on eBay with surprising regularity. Truss forks have been used to great success in the motorcycle world. Unlike conventional telescopic forks, they use linkages to ensure the head angle remains consistent throughout the full range of travel, improving stability and control in rough terrain. However, the truss fork used on the white PRS-T1, supposedly named after the robot dog from Wallace and Gromit, did the absolute opposite of this. Prioritising sensitivity over big hit capability, White designed the PRS-T1's fork to have a J-shaped axle path that, under heavy braking or hard cornering, would cause the fork to dive hard and tuck underneath itself, with predictable consequences. While the PRS-T1 was undoubtedly an admirable effort that helped launch a hugely successful brand, we're sure this is one White would rather forget. At one point in time, nearly all of the big-name manufacturers with a long-travel single-pivot bike would offer a floating brake arm such as the one shown here. Designed specifically to reduce the influence of the rear brake on a bike's rear suspension, often referred to as brake jack, these ugly little critters were most popular on the World Cup downhill circuit, where they made their way onto numerous bikes from the likes of Kona, Orange and Foes. Now though, they're incredibly difficult to find, and that's probably because many manufacturers have since switched to multi-pivot suspension designs which tend to be naturally less influenced by the same braking forces. Those who still make single pivots tend not to bother either. In fact, we can't remember the last time we saw one fitted. That's not to say they don't work. You'll still find them fitted to plenty of motorcycles, for example. But on push bikes they were often considered too heavy, noisy, and for a lot of people they simply weren't worth fitting. While tech developed for mountain bikes often inspires innovation on the road, and vice versa, there's some ideas that should never have been allowed to cross-fertilise. Shimano Dual Control looked to replicate Brifter-style shifting from the road, which sees braking and shifting controlled in one unit, on the trails. While integrating everything together in a lovely neat package isn't a bad idea in theory, the idea didn't translate well on mountain bikes and made shifting while braking near impossible. Dual control levers were also infamously fragile, and replacing them was unsurprisingly painful on your wallet, given you were buying brand new shifters and brakes in one go. Shimano also decided to introduce the almost universally disliked rapid rise rear derailleur around this time, where the normal order of shifting was reversed. The combination of these two pieces of ill-advised innovation meant chains were being dropped and curses uttered with a frequency and ferocity not experienced before or since.